All right, so I know I'm late to the party, so to speak, with the Sonya Massey thing. And I haven't done a video in a while. I'm working on other stuff, and I just haven't made time for this. But this topic is so important, right? Um, we've seen police kill people under questionable circumstances, and sometimes there's a lack of context in the video. So, for example, police buddies of mine will say, well, you don't know what happened before the shooting. They're just putting it on 10 seconds before. You have no idea what came up. There's something to be said for that. And sometimes when they give that explanation, meaning police officers, it feels like it's just self serving to say that. Uh, but I think also sometimes the public at large has a lack of appreciation for what police officers feel in those situations and the adrenaline and what have you. But this situation was just so much different. I don't see, I don't, it's just injustifiable in every regard, right? Some people would say, well, it was racism. I think that's irresponsible as well because we don't know, absent of having a video, hearing him saying, oh, well, I'm going to do XYZ to that black, whatever. We don't know. We don't know. Is it possible? Sure. Probable? I would say so, considering his attitude and his demeanor. I think it's possible, but we don't know. We can't tell. What we do know is that he, his actions were unspeakably reckless, right? And some people say it's murder. I mean, I think I agree with him being charged with murder. Some people were saying it was premeditated because he turned his camera off. I don't know. I don't know. And other people were suggesting, by the way, that it was he was had some sort of a demonic possession because the moment that she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," he seems to get triggered. Uh, and people jump to these things. I don't know. It's possible. The first thing I thought was the same thing. Like, why would he get so worked up the moment that she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus"? But who knows if at that very instant she had the pot and maybe, if she had issues, maybe she had a certain look in her eye where she looked at him when she said that and he froze up and then he was like, "Don't you dare." Who knows? It just seems so bad. And there's so many aspects of it that seem bad. Not only his unspeakably reckless actions, right? That angered not only myself, I think 99% of the people that have seen it, it has angered them. But his sort of callous and nonchalant behavior after the fact. And one thing that I haven't heard anyone else point out that I thought was very telling was when he walked out and the other police officers were out after the shooting. He walks outside and his police officer buddies, you would assume, are standing out there and they leave him on the island. Almost, I got the feeling as if it was like, we knew you were going to fuck up sooner or later. Because if you're really close with your police officer buddies, right? They have respect for you and you guys have some sort of camaraderie. They just know that you were involved in a murder. I would think they would come up to you and say, "Hey, what happened? Are you okay?" The fact that they kept their distance like that, I thought was really telling of sort of the relationship that this guy had with his coworkers, which says a lot. Now, is it possible that I'm wrong? Sure. But I don't know. I just got the sense that they were very distant from this guy and they made it a point to leave him on an island as if we want nothing to do with this. And just a very, very sad and tragic situation. And not only what happened that day, but also the inability of his higher ups to recognize that they shouldn't hire a guy who had supposedly two DWIs and was fired previously from 4 or 5 departments. Um, so irresponsible, so irresponsible. And again, it just goes to show that sometimes we pass the buck. to other people, oh well, it's okay. He'll be okay this time around, but no, he wasn't okay. And you know who else wasn't okay? Sonya Massey. Um, so God rest her soul. And I guess I don't know. I want to say God have mercy on his soul as well. I don't even know if that's the right thing to say. It's just so sad. And I don't know, my brothers, just my good people, my brothers, my sisters, just I guess try to be good to one another to the extent that you can. And when you're working with someone that you see could be capable of something like this, especially when they have the ability to impose lethal force on someone, I just hope that you guys can say something and make it known to your superiors, because it's incumbent upon all of us to speak up, you know. Anyway, until next time, my good people, peace and blessings.